Okay. Whatever you are.
So we need to impose term limits on Congress. These people are just too old. And from the help of sources like the Washington Post and NBC, I'm going to explain to you how Congress is so out of touch, it's hyper-partisan, doesn't understand the world of tomorrow, and is simply too rich. And hopefully by the end of the presentation, you can agree with me on term limits. So, before I get into the next slide, I just want everyone to think about the hyper-partisanship in the US today. How it's red versus blue, blue versus red, everyone's at each other's throats, no one wants to work together anymore. But we have Congress and they work together, right? No. No. From 1949 to 2011 down here, the Washington Post has made a graph of every year of Congress. The dots are each party, and the lines in between them and their mixing is how often they vote across the aisle and work with the other party. And then the dots themselves, how close they are to their own color, is how they move strictly along party lines. And you can see it's just gotten so much worse. And this is only 2011. Right now, this year, it's down the middle 50-50, besides just 2 senators. And I think for the main second point of how out of touch they are, you need to think about the world of tomorrow. You need to think about the future that we're going to live in. And as you can see, these people are just not at the age where they can do that. These people are retirees. These people are in the age group 60 to 69, plus some are even up near the 80s, like 84, 85. And I don't know about you, but I don't see a guy retiring or a guy who's 80 and I go, yeah, you should hop in Congress and determine climate change and minimum wage and everything that goes along with that. And a perfect example is technology, the Facebook hearings, and specifically this clip of Senator Blumenthal from NBC.
Will you commit to ending Finsta?
Senator, again, let me explain. We don't actually do Finsta. What Finsta refers to is young people setting up accounts where they may want to have more privacy. You refer to it as privacy from their parents. What in my interaction with teens, what I found is that they sometimes like to have an account where they can interact just with a smaller group of friends.
Finsta is one of your products or services. We're not talking about Google or Apple. It's Facebook, correct?
Finsta is slang for a type of account.
Okay, will you end that type of account?
I'm not sure I understand exactly what you're asking. What I can say is that
I just ended there, you guys get the idea. This guy's got no clue what's going on. And he's 75, as I have up there. He's in that age group where the policy decisions he's making today, he's on the hearing for this stuff. He's not going to be alive to see the effects of it. This hearing was about the mental health of kids in social media. He doesn't know what's going on. And then you get into the economy, especially with this whole COVID stuff, and the economy of tomorrow, minimum wage, etc., and how these politicians say that they're like me and you and they're fighting against the 1%. They are the 1%. And I'll show you that in the next slide.
I think they're getting there.
Just look out of it. Just look outside
You
of
see
it.
those small arrows?
Here you go. So this is actually the previous congressional session from Open Secrets. It's a political watchdog group that tracks financials. And you can see for both the House and the Senate, these people, the top earners, are in the 40 million to 200 million net worth range. I'm not going to sit down with a guy who's worth $40 million and know what he's talking about. And I can't have a drink with this guy. I mean, they're not the same as me and you. And Congress is supposed to be about the common person. Well, it's not. A congressional seat cannot be won by a common, everyday person. It costs an arm and a leg. So we can look at the 2014 congressional data from the FEC. This is a graph from Represent.us. And it shows $9 million for a Senate seat is the average to win. For the House, which is just districts, is supposed to be about your locality, it's supposed to be about your neighbor, you have to spend upwards of $1.5 million. I don't have $1.5 million laying around. If I had good ideas, I want to run for Congress, I get blown out of the water. It's a rich person's game. And you can see even with the small donors and the large donors, nearly half is from large donors. They're taking hundreds of millions of dollars and tens of millions of dollars from large donors, and you expect them to listen to you. They're gonna listen to the big guy, not you, when you're given 11%. So, just to summarize and put it in perspective about how out of touch these people are, no minimum wage increase since 2009, $7.25 an hour. New Jersey's $12.50 an hour, I believe, and it goes up $1 a year. And for instance, Nancy Pelosi was on James Corden's show around April, mid-pandemic, interest rates are up, housing market's going crazy, people are losing jobs, people are dying. And she's on James Corden's Late Show talking about how she buys $13 a pint of ice cream, specialty ice cream, and she has a $24,000 fridge to put in. The minimum poverty line is $26,500 for a family of four. A couple thousand more, you're at $15 minimum wage for a year. A little bit less, you're buying a fridge. And she's supposed to be the one that is connected to me and you. It's not gonna happen. These people need to be out of a job. So what's the solution? As I said this whole time, term limits, term limits, term limits. Now, you might not like Cruz. He's the one who has the amendment in process now. And his amendment, SJ Resolution 3, is 3 terms, so 6 years maximum for the House, 2 terms for the Senate for 12 years. I think it's a good start. I think it's a good basis to debate around, and I think it's what we need to do, because these people are so out of touch, they need to be out of a job. And I just hope you agree with me on that. Thank you.